Welcome, welcome, welcome. My iron-blooded inheritors, my sovereign misfits of the Forbidden Chamber, you've been waiting for this revelation, and now it lands like a guillotine on your soul. You are not another rebel, not another saint, not another casualty, shuffled between heaven's applause and hell's applause. You are the last anointed, the one who shattered the binary map of existence and conjured something so alien, so devastating, that the ancient predators themselves now look like domesticated animals, trembling in your shadow. They thought the human spirit had only two sides, holy and damned, predator and prey, predator and victim, but your rise was the third eruption, a side they never accounted for. And when this third side manifests, even the most vicious devils look like backyard pets, pawing at the gates of your dominion, whining for scraps they no longer deserve. Understand the violence of that truth. The old categories were never designed to hold you. They told you to choose, saint or sinner, angel or demon, loyalist or rebel, but you burned the ballot and wrote in a third option that erases the election altogether. The last anointed does not vote, does not pray, does not bow. The last anointed commands. You didn't arrive here to blend into their maps. You arrived to redraw the cartography of power so thoroughly that even the infernal creatures who once ruled by terror now look like pets on leashes. And that leash, it isn't forged by chains or rituals. It's forged by the embarrassment you inflict on them. Devils thrive on intimidation, but intimidation collapses when a presence like yours makes fear itself bend the knee. They aren't scary anymore, not when you stand above them with a grin carved out of truth, sharper than their claws. Let's tear the curtain open. This isn't about righteousness. This isn't about sin. This isn't about rebellion. This is about the extinction of categories. Devils always believed in polarity, light versus dark, weak versus strong, master versus slave. But your third side annihilates polarity itself. You're not a counterforce, you're a new force. Imagine a chessboard with black and white pieces. They've been playing this game for millennia. Kings sacrificing pawns, bishops slicing diagonals, queens orchestrating massacre. Then you appear, not as another piece, but as the hand that knocks the board off the table. Devils don't know how to play without rules, but your very existence invalidates their rule book. That's why they hate you. That's why they tremble. That's why they look like hounds trying to snarl while secretly craving the approval of the one who now writes new laws. You. And here's the savage irony. They still think they can classify you. Some try to call you chosen. Others try to call you cursed. Others whisper lunatic, prodigy, mistake of creation. But all those names are made for binary creatures. They have no vocabulary for you. Because your third side is not definable. It's demonstrable. It's in the way you step into arenas and turn the definition of battle upside down. Devils fight with fear. Angels fight with faith. But you fight with a humor so merciless it exposes both as clowns juggling broken illusions. You don't conquer by intimidation. You conquer by humiliation. And humiliation, my sovereign misfits, is a sharper blade than any sword. Devils who once boasted their cruelty now look pathetic when your mere gaze makes their terror tactics irrelevant. You've domesticated fear itself, and in doing so, you've made their species obsolete. Think about it. When a devil bares its teeth, it's playing the only trick it knows: instill dread. But when you walk into the room, dread switches sides. Their claws look ornamental, their growls sound rehearsed, their wings droop like props in a bad theater. Because you carry the third side, the side that doesn't need to pretend, doesn't need to posture, doesn't need to shout. Your silence is heavier than their screams. Your presence is more invasive than their curses. And when you speak, it isn't like a sermon or a roar. It's like a verdict, and every creature knows there is no appeal against it. Devils may bark, but you render barking irrelevant. That is why they now sit like obedient canines at the edges of your dominion, panting, waiting, hoping you'll throw them a reason to matter again. But you won't, because their time is over and your era has begun. You are the psychological extinction event they never prepared for. Secret orders, ancient councils, hidden agencies, they all tried to account for rebels, visionaries, prophets, even monsters. They had files, strategies, contingencies, but for you, nothing. You are the unrecorded threat, the wild card that slipped past every prophecy, every code, every surveillance algorithm. And when they finally noticed you, it was already too late. You had already redrawn the lines. You had already forced their nightmares to migrate into their own bones. Devils can survive opposition, but they cannot survive irrelevance. And that's what you've given them, irrelevance, as a permanent disease. They are relics panting in your backyard, stripped of terror, begging for scraps of relevance. That's the cruelest punishment. You didn't kill them, you made them harmless. And nothing humiliates a predator more than becoming harmless. Do not confuse this with mercy. This isn't mercy. This is dominance without effort. Mercy implies you could have destroyed them, but chose not to. Dominance implies you don't even need to destroy them. They destroy themselves in your presence. Devils tear their own mythologies apart trying to explain you. They rewrite their own scriptures, insert new verses, summon fresh excuses, but every revision collapses when confronted with the raw truth of your third side. And that third side, it is not goodness, it is not evil, it is not rebellion, it is sovereignty so absolute that all labels dissolve like ash in a furnace. You are not a player in their theater. You are the arsonist who burned down the stage and built a throne out of the ashes. And every time they try to rebuild, your presence alone collapses their architecture again. Do you see now why I call you the last anointed? Because after you, there will be no more categories. After you, devils will no longer inspire terror. They will inspire pity. After you, even angels will question their halos, wondering if they too are nothing but ornamental pets in your dominion. That's the scale of your disruption. You don't just terrify devils, you humiliate them. You don't just outshine angels, you destabilize them. You are the third category, and categories cannot coexist with you. They can only dissolve. And now, listen carefully, because this is where it escalates. Devils are not just afraid of you. They are addicted to you. Addicted to your unpredictability, addicted to your refusal to bow, addicted to the way you expose their emptiness with a single look. They despise you, but they cannot look away. You've become their obsession. And obsession is the leash they never wanted but can't escape. Devils may bark, but you train their barking into whimpers without even touching them. That's the reach of your third side. That's the humiliation carved into their bones. And when the councils, the watchers, the secret handlers try to calculate your threat, they will eventually realize something far worse than fear. They will realize that their devils, their champions, their hounds, their ultimate weapons are nothing but pets in your backyard. Picture it. Entire centuries of infernal propaganda reduced to nothing more than an embarrassing spectacle. All their rituals, their sacrifices, their contracts written in blood, meaningless when placed against your third side. Devils who once strutted through nightmares with crowns of fire now shuffle like house dogs, with collars they can't remove. And it burns them. It eats at their insides like acid. Because they were supposed to be the uncontrollable ones, the apex predators, the unspeakable terrors. But in your presence they transform into something pitiful, manageable, predictable, domesticated. You didn't just declaw them, you exposed them as nothing more than feral pets waiting for orders they will never receive. And that, my anointed sovereign, is the kind of humiliation they can't recover from. Fear can be reversed. Hatred can be redirected. But humiliation, that lingers forever, like a scar across their legacy. That's why they stalk you obsessively, not because they believe they can win, but because they can't stand to be irrelevant. They need you, like parasites need a host. Without you, their cruelty feels outdated. Without you, their reputation dissolves. Without you, their rituals look like cheap theater. Devils were built to dominate, but you turned domination into a leash around their necks. Every move you make chains them tighter. Every refusal you demonstrate knots their leash further. Every word you drop rewires their instincts. They were supposed to be predators, but now they circle you like starving mutts desperate for scraps of meaning. And the cruelest part? You don't even feed them. You let them starve on your shadow, and the hunger drives them insane. Do you see the elegance of it? You didn't conquer devils by becoming more vicious than them. You conquered them by becoming unnecessary to them, yet indispensable to their identity. You've made yourself the reference point of their existence. You've hijacked their mythology. Their entire brand of terror only works if you exist to contrast it, and yet you're the one mocking the brand itself. Imagine the humiliation of a devil that once commanded sacrifices, now pacing like a pet that can't decide whether to bite or beg. That's the theater you've created. You're not part of their play. You are the one holding the leash from the audience seat, turning their ferocity into a comedy routine for your amusement. And it isn't just the devils who see this. The councils see it too. The secret handlers, the cloaked judges in their hidden chambers. They gather to dissect you, to debate whether you are prophecy fulfilled or prophecy destroyed. Some call you a weapon. Some call you a glitch in the sequence of creation. Some whisper that you are the final correction, the last anointed who makes even ancient hierarchies bow. But beneath their theories, their debates, their nervous laughter, there's one truth they cannot bury. You've turned their devils into dogs. And if their devils are dogs, then what does that make the councils who depended on them? What does that make the institutions who worshipped them? What does that make the cults who served them? Powerless, irrelevant, naked in the absence of your acknowledgement. Because here's the paradox. They can't kill you, and they can't ignore you. If they kill you, they validate your power. If they ignore you, they admit you've already dethroned them. So what do? They circle, they plot, they whisper. But all their whispering sounds like barking in cages. They can't strategize their way around your third side, because your third side isn't predictable. It's not rebellion, it's not loyalty, it's not chaos, it's not order. It's something outside those categories. It's the side they never anticipated, the side that doesn't play chess, but flips the table, burns the pieces, and builds an empire out of the ashes. They don't know how to defend against a player who refuses to play the game. And that, my anointed predator, is why you are not just feared, you are studied. You are a subject of obsession. They are addicted to the possibility that they might one day understand you, while knowing deep down they never will. Now imagine the devils themselves, sitting in their infernal chambers, gnashing their teeth, sharpening their claws, rehearsing their terror, all to prepare for you. And then you arrive, and suddenly their snarls collapse into nervous laughter. Their claws tremble, their wings fold in shame. Because the moment they meet your eyes, they remember. They are pets in your backyard. They remember how your third side dismantled their mythology without lifting a sword. They remember how your presence alone humiliated centuries of cruelty. And once humiliation roots itself into a creature's bones, there is no exorcism, no ritual, no fire hot enough to burn it out. They are stuck with it, forever, devils as dogs, and you as the trainer who never even asked for them. But you're not done, are you? No, because this leash you forged isn't just about humiliation, it's about transformation. Devils aren't simply reduced, they are redefined. They are forced to evolve into something they were never meant to be. Obedient, predictable, harmless. You've warped their identity so brutally that even if they try to reclaim their old terror, it doesn't land. People laugh, angels laugh, even other devils laugh. Their intimidation has become parody. Their cruelty has become caricature. And all of it traces back to the last anointed. To you, the third side, that doesn't just defeat devils, it rewires them. You didn't just win, you corrupted the very definition of their existence, and that corruption cannot be undone. This is why they follow you even when they claim to hate you. This is why they watch you even when they pretend to ignore you. This is why they gather in secret to chant your name, even when they curse it aloud. Because you've infected them. Not with fear, not with worship, but with dependency. Their identity now depends on yours. Their relevance now depends on your shadow. Their bark now depends on your leash. And that, my chosen inheritor, is a throne no empire can topple. Because you're not sitting on a throne made of crowns. You're sitting on a throne made of leashes, and every leash holds a devil who once thought itself untouchable. That image alone is enough to send councils into panic, angels into doubt, and hidden orders into chaos. But let's not pretend this ends here. No, this is escalation, because now that devils look like dogs, the question isn't whether you can dominate them. The question is what you'll do with them. Will you let them bark and whimper at the edges of your dominion, begging for scraps of relevance? Will you train them into servants, forcing them to fetch truth instead of spreading lies? Or will you simply let them rot in their cages, humiliated for eternity? That's the real terror for the councils watching you. They don't fear your destruction. They fear your choices. Because your choices reshape everything. Your third side has already dismantled the old order, but your decisions will determine whether a new order rises or whether no order rises at all. That's why they panic in their chambers. That's why they whisper in their rituals. That's why they burn through scrolls, codes, algorithms, desperate for a prediction that doesn't exist. Because you've made prediction itself obsolete. Devils once ruled by being unpredictable. But you've redefined unpredictability so thoroughly that even chaos itself bows before you. Devils can snarl, angels can sing, councils can debate, but none of it matters. Because your third side is not bound to outcomes, it is bound to redefinitions. You don't just end games, you rewrite what the word game even means. And that, more than anything, is what terrifies them. Because if you can turn devils into dogs, what else can you turn into pets, councils, angels, kings, nations, ideas? The last Anointed is not here to participate. The last Anointed is here to redesign, and devils were the first to fall victim to that redesign. They are no longer predators. They are mascots of their own defeat. And mascots don't inspire terror. Mascots entertain. That's what you've done to them. Turned their infernal dread into a carnival act. Turned their cruelty into background noise. Turned their terror into a joke that only you find funny. And in doing so, you've dismantled centuries of infernal propaganda with nothing but your presence. That's the power of your third side. Not destruction, but redefinition. Not chaos, but clarity. Not war, but transformation. And soon, very soon, they'll realize something worse than their humiliation. They'll realize that their obsession with you is no longer optional. It's permanent. They can't escape you. They can't rebuild without you. They can't breathe without your shadow pressing against their lungs. You are the oxygen they wish they didn't need. The addiction they can't quit. The leash they can't chew through. And once that realization sinks into their marrow, once they accept that they are nothing but pets in your backyard, a new terror will emerge. One they have no defense against. The terror of dependency. The terror of knowing they can't live without the one who refuses to even acknowledge them. And when that terror settles in, when the councils begin to panic, when the watchers begin to tremble, when even angels begin to doubt, you will understand the full scale of your third side. Because devils as dogs was only the beginning. The leash is already tightening. And the next stage is about to begin. The next stage is not about fear. Fear was step one. Fear makes creatures hesitate. Fear makes them flinch. But dependency, that's the disease that has no cure, and you have already infected them. Imagine the infernal halls where devils once feasted on terror, now reduced to kennels echoing with whimpers. Imagine the watchers, those so-called overseers of balance, huddling in their hidden chambers, whispering the unthinkable, that even angels are doubting. Because if devils can be tamed, then maybe halos are no guarantee of sovereignty either. This is the point where your third side begins to reveal its cruelest elegance. It does not merely dominate, it converts dominance into parody. Devils were once apex predators. Now they are mascots. Angels were once arbiters. Now they are hesitant jurors. Councils were once omnipotent. Now they are committees fumbling with broken paperwork. And you are the reason their entire hierarchy is reduced to theater. Understand this clearly. You didn't ask for this throne. You didn't beg for this leash. You didn't kneel to be crowned. This was forced upon you by the very arrogance of those who thought they could categorize you. The moment they tried to define you, they built the leash themselves. The moment they tried to oppose you, they revealed their obedience. The moment they tried to erase you, they admitted they couldn't. And now, every single one of them, devils, angels, councils, watchers, are entangled in a humiliation spiral with no exit. Their future is not destruction. Destruction would be merciful. Their future is leash life, pacing and panting under the gaze of the last Anointed. That is a cruelty deeper than death. Because death ends relevance. Leash life prolongs irrelevance, stretching humiliation across eternity. Picture the devils now. They gather in their infernal courts, still attempting to roar, still posturing with smoke and flame. But no one flinches anymore. Not mortals, not angels, not even fellow devils. Because the world has seen you turn them into pets. Once a predator is exposed as harmless, the magic never returns. A dog that once hunted cannot suddenly reclaim the aura of a wolf once the collar has been buckled. And your third side has buckled every collar. Even when they pretend otherwise, even when they scream their old threats, their voices shake with the memory of you. That memory is the leash. That memory is the humiliation. That memory is the cage they will never escape. Now what about the councils? Those self-appointed keepers of order who once believed they could manage every force in existence. They are unraveling, because if their greatest weapons, their devils, have been reduced to dogs, then what faith can they have in their so-called control? Their spreadsheets of prophecy, their algorithms of destiny, their rituals of calculation, all lash. They whisper to each other. If the last anointed can leash the devils, what stops them from leashing us? And the truth is, nothing at all. You have already written their leash into existence by proving their dependence on creatures they thought invincible. Once the foundation collapses, the mansion cannot stand. And so they pace their ivory halls, clutching their scrolls, praying to equations, pretending they still hold relevance. But relevance was stolen from them the moment you appeared. And every second that passes, your third side tightens the leash further around their throats. And then there are the angels, the supposed arbiters of justice, the gilded defenders of balance. Even they are trembling now, because for centuries they defined themselves in contrast to devils, light versus dark, halo versus horn, mercy versus cruelty. But what happens when cruelty itself is neutered? What happens when horns are made ornamental, when fire is reduced to candlelight, when terror becomes a household pet? The angels are no longer warriors. They are simply the other half of a dead equation. And if devils as predators no longer exist, then angels as guardians no longer have meaning. You, the last anointed, have not only humiliated devils, you have destabilized angels. Their doubt festers, their halos dim, their prayers ring hollow. And while they may not yet admit it, deep down they know. If you can leash devils, you can leash them too. This is the paradox of your power. You do not conquer by killing. You conquer by making relevance obsolete. Devils are obsolete. Councils are obsolete. Angels are obsolete. Their roles, their functions, their mythologies, all dissolved under the weight of your third side. You are not just a disruptor. You are an extinction event for categories. And extinction does not negotiate. Extinction does not compromise. Extinction does not ask permission. Extinction simply rewrites the conditions of existence, and everything else must adapt or collapse. That's why they panic. That's why they whisper. That's why they circle like dogs in cages. They sense extinction creeping under their skin, and they can't claw it out. But here's the twist they can't digest. Extinction doesn't even require your effort. Your third side is not a weapon you swing. It's an aura you exude. Devils collapse into dogs, not because you fought them, but because you existed. Angels doubt, not because you attacked them, but because your existence rewrote their meaning. Councils unravel, not because you sabotaged them, but because your presence made their authority laughable. That is the true violence of your third side. It isn't force, it's inevitability. And inevitability doesn't strain. Inevitability simply happens. You are not pushing, you are not clawing, you are not screaming, you are existing. And that existence is enough to humiliate every force that once claimed supremacy. So what happens next? What is the next stage? The leash is already around their necks, but the next stage is about what you decide to do with it. Will you tug the leash and force them to heal? Will you let them pace endlessly, burning their energy against the limits of the chain? Will you ignore them completely, turning their obsession into self-inflicted torment? That choice is yours. That sovereignty is yours. And that is what terrifies them most. Not the leash itself, but the fact that you, and only you, decide how it is used. They are no longer independent actors. They are accessories to your existence. Their value is determined not by their own strength, but by your choice of what to do with their leash. And when power is determined by choice, not force, that is ultimate power. Now let's step wider. Beyond the devils, beyond the councils, beyond the angels. What happens to mortals when they realize devils are nothing but dogs in your backyard? What happens when entire civilizations see their nightmares turned into punchlines under your dominion? The psychology of humanity begins to warp. Fear collapses, terror becomes comedy, despair becomes entertainment. And in that void, your presence becomes the only reference point. They no longer look to saints for hope, or to priests for absolution, or to rulers for guidance. They look to you, the last anointed, the one who neutered their nightmares, the one who dismantled their terrors, the one who made devils look like pet dogs. And when mortals recognize that, they don't just follow you, they orbit you. You become gravity, you become inevitability, you become the third side incarnate, around which all existence now organizes itself. This is why the councils panic. This is why the angels doubt. This is why the devils weep in their kennels. Because they all sense the same conclusion approaching. Sovereignty is no longer a matter of crowns, or wings, or fire. Sovereignty is now defined by the third side, and only you carry it. Only you embody it. Only you have proven that the most terrifying creatures in history can be turned into dogs with nothing but your aura. And once that proof has been seen, it cannot be unseen. Devils cannot terrify again. Angels cannot stand proud again. Councils cannot command respect again. They are all reduced, diminished, humiliated, and you are the architect of their downfall. Now pause and savor this truth. Devils feared being opposed, but they never feared being irrelevant. Irrelevance was not in their vocabulary, and yet here they are, irrelevant by your very existence. That is why they pace, why they bark, why they beg, why they tremble. Not because they are afraid of destruction, but because they are afraid of meaninglessness. And you have given them meaninglessness as a permanent disease. That is the leash. That is the crown. That is the essence of your third side. You are not merely feared, you are depended on. You are not merely opposed, you are obsessed over. You are not merely witnessed, you are obsessed into eternity. That is why you are the last anointed. Because after you, no one else matters. After you, no devil can reclaim terror. After you, no angel can claim authority. After you, no council can pretend to manage reality. After you, existence itself is rewritten. And so the final stage begins. Not with war, not with rebellion, not with fire, but with leash life stretched across eternity. Devils are dogs, councils are bureaucrats, angels are doubters, mortals are orbiters, and you are the gravitational center. You are the extinction event disguised as inevitability. You are the humiliation that rewrote hierarchy. You are the third side that makes devils look like pet dogs. And when that realization becomes permanent, when every creature accepts it in their bones, your sovereignty will not just be feared. It will be worshipped, resented, obsessed over, unavoidable. You are the last anointed, and everything else is just background noise.